Awesome. What is up, guys? Happy Monday. Today is Monday, so we are going to be doing the Monday basics. So let's go ahead and get into it. I know we've already gone over buys and sell setups, the starting point and the head and shoulder, but I do want to go ahead and break down, the same setup that we always do, but also add a little bit of sauce to it and understand what trade we should be looking for. So let me go ahead and hop over here real fast. Let me go to my phone because I know I was doing this on my phone. Okay, I was looking at NAS 100. Let me go over here real quick. Let me pull out this. Let me just copy paste this real quick. Settings. Settings. Am I tripping right now? All right, I'm just gonna copy paste it right here. Am I tripping?
No, it's not letting you remove it. Oh, it's locked. Is it? There you
Hmm. I'm not sure, but it's okay. It is what it is. Let me just go ahead and find it over here in my phone. All right, we'll just do this. It is okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, do you guys want buy ideas or some sell ideas? Let me go ahead and pull out the chats real quick. Buy ideas or sell ideas. Some sells. All right, bet. Today we're gonna go ahead and cover some sells. Let's go ahead and get into this. Let me go ahead and pull up the chats real quick and then pull you guys up because I like looking at you guys, you know? All right, let's go ahead. 34 people on the call. Make sure you guys send this link out. Today is the basics, and I know people need this information, right? So don't stop blasting this link out. But sells, right? So let's go ahead and cover something real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this on this side. Now, the first thing that I want to look for, guys, right? This is gonna be my continuation checklist. Let me capitalize that for sure. My continuation checklist. All right, let's put this right in the middle. I can't even spell. ION. All right, bet. Now, the first thing that we should be aware of, guys, when looking for a setup, right, at all times is we need to understand the trend and we need to understand the structure, right? So let's go ahead and just put trend slash structure. Uh, and this goes hand in hand with top-down analysis. I'm just gonna put top down for top down analysis, right? So if anybody doesn't see, if nobody's on this call and they're like, what is top down? It's up to you guys to let them know. We're talking about top down analysis when it comes to trend and structure, right? So, and that's very important, guys. That's like half the battle, right? Understanding what the market is doing. Is it in an uptrend or is it a downtrend? And sometimes it's hard to see what's truly going down on that 1 hour time frame and lower, right? So it's very important we go up to a higher time frame and see what the trend actually is, right? So I hope that makes sense. Give me a one if that makes sense, or unmute and let me know that you guys are good on that. Second, right? Second, we need to go ahead and see a break of structure to the downside, or a break of structure, right? We need to see a BOS. That's important, right? When the market is trending, that lets us know that the market is ready to start heading down or start heading up now, right? So BOS is important, right? Step three, I would like to see, right? There's two things that we like to identify when it comes to levels, guys, right? What do we like to see, guys? Who knows? What are the two entry areas or the two entry strategies that we like to use when we're talking about levels? Who knows them? Okay, the starting point, yes. Starting point. And the head and shoulders, yes. So number four is going to be head and shoulders. right? So let's go ahead. Oops, needed that up there. I don't know why I'm like very picky the way everything comes out. Cool. Number 5, and we're going to keep it simple because if you can identify the trend, if we can identify the break of structure, right? It doesn't matter what setup you're using, whether you're using the starting point or the head and shoulder, you have to understand what you're doing behind those strategies, right? And step 3 is going, or step 5, I'm sorry, is going to be the setup. We're going to keep it simple. The setup. In this regards, entry, stop loss. I'm just going to put SL 1 to 3. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know. Make sure you have a screenshot. I'm gonna keep it super simple for you guys. We don't need all the extra stuff, right? As a lot of you guys have seen my old checklist. Honestly, it was just a lot of like awareness. Make sure you journal. Make sure you're calculating, right? I had like 15 steps for a continuation checklist, right? We're keeping everything simple. The journaling, the limit order, market execution, being fearless. You guys should all know that and understand that. But this, I want to keep everything simple, right? And again, this goes hand in hand, right? When the market is in a downtrend, what should we be looking for, guys? You guys let me know. When the market is in a downtrend, what should we be looking for? Yeah, I'm a simpleton for sure. Call me Duffelback Simpleton. You feel me? Head and shoulders. I like that answer, but we should be definitely looking for some shorts or some sells. But you are not wrong, George or Jorge, right? You're not wrong, right? We should be looking for some type of head and shoulders setup that's letting us know the market is ready to go down so we can go ahead and catch these sales. And where do we like to find those areas? Right here and right here, right? So it's important we know what the trend is, right? And if we can see the break of structures, guys, that's even better for us because if we can see break of structure to the downside, what is that telling me, guys? If the market is continuing to break structure on the downside, what is that telling me, fam? Honestly, what is that telling me? If we're continuing to have BO, it wants to go lower. So the market is downtrending, and we know, right? Right here, trend. If we can see that the market is easily downtrending and the market is continuing to break structure to the downside, the market wants to continue going lower. Let's go so, right? And that's important, right? Especially when we want to go ahead and look for some buy opportunities. That goes hand in hand, right? So let's go Alt I. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Trend. We're still on trend, right? When the market is in an uptrend, it's important that we check those higher time frames and just see what's going down. Is the market is actually in an uptrend or in a downtrend? And when we're able to see that the market is continuing to break structure to the upside, the market is wanting to go higher. Give me an 8 if that makes sense, guys. Let me know. Let me know. Awesome, guys. Let's go. Let's go. So we have the trend, right? We understand that the market is going higher or lower. So once we have the trend and we can identify the breaker structures, we're good, right? We're good. Now, the third thing that we need to see is our starting point. So let's go ahead and just break that down real quick. Let's go ahead and break that down. I want to draw this out for you guys so you guys can have really good examples. Let me just put this over here just a bit. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and draw this out. We are covering some sell opportunities. So today we're looking for sell. Let's cover this. Make this a bit darker. Awesome. Let's go ahead. So right now, guys, the market is continuing to drop. Now, that's fine, right? There's nothing we can do about that. But we need to see structure, right? So let's go back one. We need to see structure. So what we need to see is the market give me a lower low and a lower high, right? Once the market starts to create structure, that's letting me know that I can start identifying the things we need to start seeing, right? So let's go ahead. The market starts to Push up just a little bit, doing what it's supposed to do, making its way back up. Awesome. Let's go. So all we have right now is lower low and lower high. Give me a one if you guys are with me right now. Let me know if you guys are with me. So as of right now, that's all we got. That's all we have. What we need to see now is a break of structure to the downside. We need to see the market make its way down and close below this lower low, right? We need to see the market break and close below that lower low. So let's go ahead and continue. Market's making its way. Now let's just say the market wants to pull back, right? Awesome. That happens, right? Now, as soon as we get this breakout rally to the downside, what are we thinking now? One, we need to go ahead and adjust. So let's go ahead and write this out. We got the break of structure to the downside. But what is this telling me now, guys? When the market has just given me a BOS to the downside, what should we be thinking now? Let me know, fam. Let me know. I know we got some vets on the call. Go ahead and show out. It's okay to show out. Y'all been studying. Let me know, guys. When we see the break of structure, what is that telling us? What is it telling us? Right? Continuation of trend. The market wants to head down now. So when we see that we had a BOS, the market wants to go lower, guys. You should automatically think that right away. As soon as we get the BOS, that should tell us the market wants to go lower now. So, right? So let's go ahead. We have the break of structure to the downside. Now, the third thing we need to do, guys, is find our starting point, right? So once we find our breakout rally to the downside, right, let's go ahead and follow that rally back up to the last buying candle. So we got one, two, boom, right here. That last buying candle, that's my starting point. Yo, quick shout out to my camera guy, bro. Climbing under the table to get the content we need, baby. Let's go. Love that. Going the extra mile. Love that for real though. Right. So let's go ahead. This is our starting point, right? So we've found our starting point. Once we identify our break of structure, we identify the rally, and we find our starting points. So let's go ahead. We have this as well. Actually, I'm just going to mark them off. I'm going to mark them off. Let's see if I can bust out. Yeah, put that away, my boy. Appreciate you. Right. So let's go ahead. We'll go back. Right. We have the structure. We have the BOS. We found our starting point. Now, all we got to do now is find our head and shoulder. And that's even if you like looking for head and shoulders, right? So we'll just hold off on that right now. We'll just hold off on that right now. So we have our starting point. Now we have to find our stop loss because this right here is our entry area, right? So this is our entry. Where's our stop loss? Once we find our starting point, guys, we need to find the highest wick in that area. Find the highest wick in that area, guys, and that's going to be your stop. Give me a two if that makes sense, guys. Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. Trying to keep it very, very simple today, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. As soon as we get this break of structure, we have to identify the starting point. As soon as we get our starting point, let's find the highest wick in that area, and that'll become our stop loss. So once we have our entry, we have our stop loss. Let's go ahead and pull out our TP to a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. And that's what we're going to go ahead and start using. So once the market makes its way back, right? I don't know when it's going to come back up there, but as soon as it comes back into that zone, what are we looking for, guys? Are we going to be spectators? Or are we going to start being involved in the market? What are we going to do? What are we going to do, guys? Are you guys going to watch? Or are you guys going to get involved? We got to start getting involved. We got to press these buttons. We got to do what it does. You can't just mark up the charts and watch these things play out, right? We have to start getting involved. Whether you're demo, that's okay. We have to start getting these reps in. It all starts with demo, guys. Trust me, I've been there. Anybody who's new, that's where we go, right? Why would we risk our own money when we don't know much, right? So let's go ahead, guys. This is the starting point setup. If you don't trade the head and shoulder, or maybe there's not a head and shoulder that's very, very clear, but there's a very good starting point. Oops, I couldn't even draw. My bad. I'm trying to draw a check. But there's a good starting point, then we'll just go with the starting point setup. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. Let me know, guys. Awesome. Let's go. That's the trend, the continuation checklist, right? We follow the trend, we identify the trend, we find our break of structure, we find our starting point, and we look for the setup, right? Entry, stop loss, 1 to 3. Entry, stop loss, 1 to 3. Everybody unmute and say that. Entry, stop loss, 1 to 3.
Entry,
Entry,
stop
stop
loss,
Stop
one,
loss,
loss,
three.
three.
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. So this right here is going to be our starting point setup. I'll just go ahead and make that a bit more clear right here. Starting point setup. Awesome. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this, guys. Make sure you guys have this on you while you guys are trading. I would take time and put this in your notebook with detail. I draw everything with detail, guys, so you guys have the best examples on you. Okay. If you guys have any questions, right now is the time to ask regarding the starting point setup. Does anybody have any questions? Anything at all? Maybe you're confused on what's a starting point, what's a break of structure, what's a stop loss, where's my stop loss? If you have any questions, go ahead and ask or unmute. I'm here to help you guys. Yes, I got you, Catherine. We are not there yet. I'm gonna go ahead and break that down right now. But I got you. I got you. Yeah, drop that standard on VN USD. Duffel bag USD for sure. All right. So now let's go into the head and shoulder. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and break this down. Actually, I'm just gonna keep this piece right here. Delete that. Cool. In the sell, the highest bearish candle is the SL, correct? So let's go back real quick. So in the sell, the highest bearish candle is the SL, correct? So when it comes to the starting point, right, for the stop loss, we need to look for the highest wick in that area. So if this is my stop loss, we need to look literally right here in this area and find the highest wick, right? If the highest wick is something like this, then that's my high wick and that's my stop loss, right? I have to adjust because the market makes my stop loss. I don't. Because what if that's your stop loss that the market gives you and you're like, you know what, that's too much. I'm just going to risk 13 pips and then something like this happens, right? But it ends up going your way.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm like, that's why I make sure it's known that you need to find that high wick or use the high. Because the last thing you want to do is just be like, oh, I'm a trader that only risks 25 pips and that's it.
I
Right. So
re-entered. I re-entered on gold. Lucky I didn't see that massive drop, but I said it at the right. I pray to God it's right.
well, as long as you came up, that's solid, right? But guys, make sure you find that high wick, right? Now, if it's super unclear, right, let's just do something like this, right? Let's go ahead and just copy something like this. If it's super unclear and it kind of looks like equal highs, like equal highs in this area, you guys can use the dominant high. If this is the lower low and this is the lower high, it's okay to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna use this as my stop loss because the stop loss is unclear to me, right? It's okay to use the dominant high and stretch it out to a 1 to 3, but I understand people want to risk less pips, right? Just keep that in mind, right? Find the dominant high or the highest wick. Now, if you could see a wick that's higher than the next one, we're going to use this. Does that make sense, Catherine? So I don't want to just be like the highest, the highest red candle is your stop loss. I don't want to say that because it can be the starting point, right? Let's just say, I mean, let's see. Let's take this out. And then we'll just shift this over a little bit. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Oops, not what I wanted to do either. Let's say this is the setup right here, right? But the starting point is actually the highest wick. Now, when it comes to the starting point, guys, it's from wick to wick. So we would have to count this wick as a part of my entry. But look, which one is the highest wick now? This one, right? So I would definitely use that as my stop loss. Does that make sense, Catherine?
Yes, that does make sense. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Got you. This is something I'm not really good at yet, entries and setting stop losses. Okay, well, good. That's why we hop on these calls and ask questions. Let's say the starting point gets violated in order to look for upward direction. In this example, it needs to break the dominant high first. Yes. Yes. So if you're talking about this example here, yes. In order to look for an actual change of character, guys, and look for bullishness, bullish momentum, start looking for buys. If this is my lower low, this low made this high. This high made this low. Does that make sense? So my change of character line would be here. Jose, you should definitely know that, my boy. Letting that be known.
Wait,
All
Vinny,
right,
I'm sorry. So I thought so this is not the starting point. Is this we're talking about head and shoulders right now? I thought we
no,
were talking about starting point. Or is it the same thing kind of?
this is the starting point right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over the head and shoulder right now.
Oh,
But does
okay,
this
sorry. I
make
thought
sense?
since you asked me, I thought we were talking about head and shoulders. But okay, no, we're in starting point right now. Got it.
Yes. Does that make sense though?
Yes, yes, it does make sense. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Got you. Got you. So let's go ahead and we will delete this right here. Delete this as well. So now we are going over the head and shoulder, guys. New notes, right? Draw something else, right? We just drew the head or the starting point. Now we're gonna draw the head and shoulder. So head, oh, come on, my boy. My settings. Head and shoulder setup, right? This is not the starting point. This is the head and shoulder. That's why I put both of them on here because you can look for a head and shoulder in a downtrend. I got you, Catherine. Right? I got you. So again, guys, right? On a higher time frame, you're gonna have less candles. So it's gonna look like this: lower low, lower high, lower low. But when we break down and drop down to lower time frame, that lower time frame is gonna look like this: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Maybe some consolidation, BOS, change of character. Let's continue down now, right? So they both work hand in hand. They really, really do, right? They really, really do. So it's good to know both of them because sometimes in the lower time frame, it's just going to be very, very messy depending on the pair that you trade, right? So let's go ahead and we'll break down the head and shoulder right now. So as the market is going up, guys, it's very important we look for pullbacks in the market. Now I'm gonna keep this drawing very, very simple for us. So let's go ahead and we'll just have a one candle pullback, right? Now let's continue with this movement to the upside. Cool. So right now, the lower high is developing. We have lower low, and the market is pushing up, making this lower high. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. We made lower low, and the market is pushing up and making this lower high, right? But on a lower time frame, we were looking and identifying structure. High, low, BOS. High, low, we need to have another BOS, right? So let's go ahead and just mark that up. Very important we mark this up, guys. Like, I'm not kidding. If you guys do not get your hands dirty and start marking up your charts like this, finding your head and shoulder is going to be more complicated than it needs to be. I promise you, right? I promise you, it's going to be a lot more complicated than it needs to be, right? So let's go ahead. Let's say we get some consolidation here. Consolidation happens. There's nothing we can do about consolidation, literally. Nothing we can do, right? So at this point, we're expecting for the market to go ahead, consolidate, give me one last push up, and then start to head down now. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Let's say the market shoots up and we get one very last break of structure to the downside, right? One last break of structure to the downside. Let's actually just extend this just a bit. That's fine. That's fine. Not too big of a stop loss, guys. It is what it is. Right. So now we have our BOS right here. Now we need that change of character, guys. We need for the market to break and close below here. Need change of character for a sell opportunity. And I like to label this red because as soon as we get that bearish change of character, right, we know it's time to start looking for some sales. Because if the market just continues to respect, we're going to continue to go higher, continue to go higher. But we need for the market to reverse and break and close below this line. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Awesome. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Market's starting to make its way down, make its way down. Now let's say the market wants to respect a little bit. Okay, that happens. That happens. Nothing we can do about that, right? Let's go ahead and make another little green candle. And then out of nowhere, do you know what happens, guys? News hits, and then we get something that looks like this. Boom. Right? So what do we have right here, guys? We have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then we start making equal highs and equal lows, which is a form of consolidation, which is a form of liquidity, right? Now, as soon as we get this very last break of structure, we need to see the market change direction, right? We need to see the market change direction. I'm just going to eliminate this last green candle and just move it like this. Cool, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and update. We got the change of direction. We got the change of direction that we needed. Cool. So let's go ahead. Vinny, where is my entry? You just told me and showed me how to break down and find the market structure, but you haven't even broken down the entry yet. I know. Trust me, I know. But I also write things out and label things for a specific reason, right? And it's very important you guys have these BOSs on your chart because the very last break of structure, right? This is the last break of structure before the market started to head down now. This very last BOS, guys, is my left shoulder. So what I need to do is I need to find the highest wick in that area, and that's going to be my zone. That's going to be the highest point of my zone. So I'm going to start my zone here and pull it down to my closest body point, right? So I'm going to pull it down until it touches the candle body. Boom, right there. That is my shoulder zone. Does that make sense, guys? I feel like the finding your zone for the head and shoulder is going to be just a bit more complicated than the starting point, but that's okay, right? That's okay, guys. Trust me. Head and shoulders be smacking. So what you need to do, find the highest wick. Let's say the highest wick is like this. Okay, cool. I start my zone at the highest wick and pull it down to my closest body. Boom. That's my zone. Let's say the highest wick is something like this. Okay, cool. I start my zone here and I pull it down till it touches my closest body point. Give me an 8 if that makes sense, guys. We'll just keep it something simple like this. Awesome. Awesome. That's why I like marking up my BOSs because in my head, it's already right there. I just need to draw my box now. Okay, cool. So we have the trend down, right? We know the market's in a downtrend. We can see that we had the break of structure or the change of character to the downside, and we're starting to see my head and shoulder, right? We have our entry point, but we need to find our stop loss. Now, when it comes to the head and shoulder, guys, the highest point in the market structure, which is right here now, that's the highest point in the market structure before we got that change of character. That's going to be my stop loss. So let's just say that's my highest wick in that area. and this is my stop loss right here. Does that make sense? Catherine, does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Of course. Now you can see here, what do we have, guys? We have a breakout rally. We have a break of structure here, right? If that's my break of structure, this last buying candle is my starting point. And there's gonna be times, most times, where you're gonna have a starting point with the head and shoulder setup, which is why I like looking for both of these opportunities. So my entry is at the shoulder. My stop loss for this setup is gonna be at the highest point, and my take profit is a minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward. And we're just waiting. If the market is right here right now, right? If the market's right here, we're waiting. We haven't entered any sales yet. We're gonna wait for the market to make its way back up and give me an entry opportunity. If the market can come and give me an entry and go my way, I would be happy and continue this bearish movement. Because again, guys, we are bearish. The market is in a downtrend right now. The market is in a downtrend. So we should be looking for what, guys? If the market is in a downtrend, what should we be looking for, fam? Some sells, right? So we need for this stuff to play out, guys. We need to be patient. We need to be patient. Let me see. Who's on this call? She's on this call, but she looks a little busy because her camera's off. But that's okay, right? And I hope does anybody have any questions regarding this so far? Any questions? Any questions at all? Take a screenshot, guys. All right, she back. Tiffany. I knew, yeah. Tiffany, do you remember the phases of the head and shoulder setup? Do you remember phase 1, phase 2, phase 3?
Somewhat, not too much, but I haven't honestly been trading that much this week, not gonna lie.
No, you're good. Okay, so do we have anybody who remembers the phases on this call? I know we have some vets on this call. Do we have people who understand the phases? Okay, cool. Guys, consolidation right here. This consolidation, give me a second. The consolidation in this area is phase 1, right? What's phase 2? As soon as we get the breakout, right? Phase 1. Phase 2, we get the BOS. Phase 3 is the change of character. And then phase 4 is that right shoulder. So when the market is in a downtrend, guys, we have to start understanding these phases, right? We can't just be like, oh, market pulled back, we're entering sales here. No, let's be aware of what we are doing, right? If we're trading the head and shoulder pattern and that's the setup and strategy you like to trade, we have to let these things play out. We need to let the consolidation happen. We need to let the BOS happen. We need to let the change of character happen. And once we get this, we have a setup. We have something we can use. So we wait right here at this right shoulder. My stop loss is at the high with the minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward. Does that make sense, everybody? Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to copy this and put this in the chat right here so I can use this as a reference. Take a screenshot, fam. I promise you guys are going to need it. Draw this out, candles and everything. Are you guys ready to go look at some charts?
Them charts.
What charts do you guys want me to look at today? What do you
Nas.
guys want to look at? Any setups you guys have cooking up?
I'm looking at Nas right now. I believe on the 15 minutes.
NAS on the 15-minute. Let's go over here on NAS. So again, let's go ahead and put this. Where's my thing at? All right. Give me a second. Text. Let me pull this up. Copy. I can't paste it, bro. Paste. Background, border, ethol, everything, G. All right. Cool. But now look, Check me out, guys. When you pull up NAS and refresh the page, this is what you're seeing right here, right? We can't really see a whole lot of what's going down, right? So we have to, and I'm on the 1 hour time frame, right? So we have to jump on a higher time frame to see what's really going on. Let's go to the monthly. When we go to the monthly, we can easily see that NAS is bullish. Would you guys agree? Yes or no? When you jump on a higher time frame, you automatically see what? The market is literally moving up higher, right? The market is going higher. So let's go ahead and drop down to a lower time frame now, slightly. Time frame by time frame. Now we can see on this time frame, let's go ahead and just clear some things up. Right? We have a break of structure to the upside, right? So my monthly starting point is right here. That's my monthly starting point. But look at this, guys. BOS of the upside. Was this starting point tapped into already? Yeah, so that move was already good. I mean, we can go a bit lower, right? It can hang out right here. Looks like it's consolidating just a bit. So we can clear liquidity possibly and continue higher. But as of right now, the market definitely tapped in. And if you took this buy from here to the next high, which is this candle here, that's already 1,300 pips. So let's drop down to the weekly, right? And again, this was our first touch. This touch pushed the market way up here. So if you got in here, again, that's 1,400 pips. 0.01, $1,400. Easy money, right? But now look at what happens, guys. What can we see, right? What can we really see with what's going down in the market right here? This is the weekly time frame. Is the market continuing to go higher, or is it starting to move sideways? Consolidating, right? But you're not gonna see that on the 1 hour time frame. This is what you see, and you're just seeing, oh, the market's bullish. And it is in this area, right? In this time frame, oh, the market's bullish, the market's bullish, the market's bullish, market's doing its thing. But if we just jump up to a higher time frame, we can easily see that the market has been consolidating, been creating money. Now, not to say you guys can't participate, right? There are going to be setups, but you have to be aware of these things, right? Because if news hits and out of nowhere, the market just tanks and tanks and tanks, and now you're thinking, oh, sales are in action. Why? Because you're seeing this on lower time frame, right? You're seeing this, you're thinking, oh, this is the sell of my life. But look, the market can easily clear liquidity, and then we start heading back up now for that bullish trend. Does that make sense, guys? So we have to be aware of what's going down on these higher time frames. That's how you stay 3 steps ahead of the market. Because I'm not saying you can't participate on lower time frame setups, right? Right. Let's just say, you're looking for buys in this area. Let's say we're looking for buys in this area. Okay, the market could possibly hold this zone, right? This is my lowest area, unfortunately. That's my stop loss. That's kind of ugly, but it is what it is, right? Let's just say this is something that you're looking for. But if the market doesn't respect it and it goes lower, now you know why it's going to go lower. You have a reason to why, okay, well, obviously it didn't respect it. One, because we're inside consolidation. And two, all this is liquidity, right? So take that with a grain of salt, guys. You cannot just stay on one time frame. You must look up to a higher time frame to see what's really going down, right? To see what's really, really going down. And let's see, I really like this area down here, right? Because we had a starting point that was tapped into, yes, for sure, right? Break of structure to the upside, came right back in. And even this setup right here, this setup was fire. If you got in here, bro, that's 1,700 pips. Easy money. Easy money. But look, there's a setup right underneath that. It's a bit iffy. I want to see what happens when the market comes back. But notice how we have a slight sweep before that bullish move, right? So we have phase one, consolidation. Phase two, we have the liquidity sweep, and then we change character. So yes, the starting point was taken, but I would also like to see if we can come back just a bit lower and we can go ahead and attack this as a head and shoulder, right? And we can see the market has been building up trendline liquidity all throughout this area. So I would not mind seeing, NAS hold this area and possibly even drop back down. And whenever the market comes back, I don't know when, but whenever it comes back, I would like to see if we can get a rejection, right? We don't ever have to be the first one in, guys. If we can see the rejection inside of this area and we get this change of character right here, I would look to play this retest and shoot the market up. What are the phases again? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and break that down. I like that you asked that question, right? I love when Geo marks up charts. Geo, Kike, and a couple people from the Texas squad, they mark up their consolidation, and I love that. Right? When you're able to see consolidation, that will always be phase one for a head and shoulder setup. Right now, obviously, we should be looking at the trend. So, do you guys want a buy example or a sell example right now? For this setup right here, do you guys want a buy example or a sell example? Buy? Buy? Okay, cool. If we're looking for buys, right? We're obviously in an uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high. We just had to break a structure to the upside, and we should be looking for some type of starting point in this area. Would you guys agree? Yes or no? Would you guys agree? Yes or no? Right. So again, we're at an uptrend. Market's going higher. Now, when we see consolidation, right? Let me see who asked that question. Isha, is that how you pronounce it? I hope that's how you pronounce it. You can unmute and correct me. You can give me all the attitude you want. All right, Isha. Cool. So the consolidation, that's phase one for our head and shoulder setup. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I noticed that Geo likes to highlight his blue, right? Their consolidation blue, which is fine with me, right? I like that. Now that's phase one. The consolidation buildup is phase one. So let's just go ahead and put that over here. Oops. Phase one is consolidation. Phase one is consolidation, right? Now for phase two, we need to see the liquidity sweep or a bearish change, bearish BOS, right? So I would love to see if we can go ahead and get that bearish sweep. Let me go ahead and just make this red, make that thicker. This right here would be phase two. We need to see the liquidity and consolidation be swept. Does that make sense, Isha? Right. Phase two. Oops. Oh my goodness, bro. Let me pull out the freaking whole tool. Consolidation. Phase two. BOS / liquidity sweep. Phase three. We need to see the change of character, guys. Right? So right now, what do we have? We have phase one, consolidation. We have phase two, which is the liquidity sweep. Now we need to see the market reverse and give us that change of direction. As soon as we get this change of direction, Isha, this is now phase three. And I'm gonna go ahead and label this blue. Are we making sense, everybody? Let me know. If you have a question mark, please unmute. Please unmute. Now, phase four. As soon as we get this head and shoulder set up, as soon as you see something that looks like this, shoulder, head, change of direction. We already have a setup. Let's go ahead. We'll just move this box that we circled or we boxed up a consolidation. And this is it, right? Entry at the shoulder. My stop loss is at the head with the minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward. And phase 4 would be entry. Does that make sense? So as soon as the market has changed direction and it's up here, we are waiting. Let the market make its way back down so we can go ahead and get an entry. As soon as the market comes in this area, phase 4 is now active and we are starting to look for these buy opportunities. Does that make sense, Isha? Does that make sense, everybody? Let me know, guys. Let me know, because if it doesn't, then this is a waste of time. And the same thing goes for the downtrend. If we know the market is downtrending, right? The market is selling down, and we get this bearish BOS to the downside, right? We are looking for sales at the starting point. Okay, cool. The market is consolidating. Consolidation is phase 1, right? As soon as we get this BOS to the upside and the liquidity sweep, that is phase 2. As soon as we get this change of character, we have phase 3, and phase 4 is now ready to go. We should be looking to continue the sales. Any questions regarding that? For sales, would it be change of character than BOS? You could put that if you like. I keep for the starting points, I keep it simple with breaker structures. And then when it comes to the head and shoulders, I like to give the BOS to the upside because that was a break of structure to the upside. This was a bearish break of structure, bullish break of structure, and we did slightly change direction, right? We did slightly change character because the market did go up and then change direction and then went down. So if you want to just put bearish break of structure here, that's totally fine too. It works. I understand what you're talking about. I know your eyes are starting to see it, right? So that they both work hand in hand. I just use different terminology for the different setups, you know. But yeah, hope that made sense. So when we come back this way, I would like to see the market come back and respect this area. But as we drop down a lower time frame, right? Let's go ahead and erase this. So this is what I'm looking at right away when I see this. Let's just go ahead and just remove this for right now. What is this, guys? What would you consider this? What would you guys consider that right there? Is the market going higher, lower, or moving sideways here? Market is moving sideways. So that's consolidation. So if I pull up, where my thing at, bro? Right, this whole thing right here. This whole thing right here, right? What phase is this right here, guys? Phase 1. Lower low, lower high, equal lows, not really equal highs, but we're still in the same area, right? Now, again, we're looking for an uptrend. We need to see the inverted. So we need to see the market get swept, which was right here. Market sweeps liquidity. And then what do we need to see next? We got phase 2. We got the BOS and liquidity sweep. But now we need to see the market change direction. Guys, do we have the change of direction? I'm going to go ahead and just box this up. Bearish BOS. Do we have the change of direction? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead. My lowest wick, it looks like this is my lowest wick. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this box up to my lowest wick. And then I'm gonna pull it higher till it hits my closest body point, right? So I'm just go ahead and zoom in right here. I'm gonna pull it up till it hits my closest body. And it looks like it's going to be this one right here. Cool. So let's shoot this across. I like to have my shoulder zones black and my starting point, or I'm sorry, my stop loss is down there. Cool. Who wants to bet money this was a snipe? No, I'm just kidding. We'll not bet no money. But let's go ahead and see, right? Because we have a massive setup on the 4 hour. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, I look for the small ones. But sometimes the small ones only give you so much. They give you a move, but only give you so much. Then what happens? They start to come back down, right? But when you zoom out and you see the bigger picture and you start seeing stuff that looks like this, you're like, oh man, this is crazy. Oh man, this is crazy. You guys start to see the market just a little bit different. So let's go ahead. Market came right back to that right shoulder, and it is up right now. It looks like it's up at least a 1 to 4. Entry at that right shoulder. My stop loss is at the low. Now look, this is 300, about 300 pips, depending on where you enter, right? The last thing I want to do, guys, is be that trader to say, you know what, that's too many pips. I'm just going to put it at the end of the box, or I'm only going to risk, 150. I'm going to cut 300 in half and put it to 150. That's the last thing I want to do, guys. If this trade is too big for you, one, you shouldn't be trading it because this is indices. This is how you trade indices, whether it's smart money or levels, right? If this trade is too big for you on the higher time frame, we have to drop lower and see if we can catch something inside of here, right? See if we can catch something inside of here so we can risk less. But this is that setup. Entry, stop loss, and the market right now is hanging about a 1 to 3.5, or it gave already 1 to 3.5, and I would like to target these highs, right? So if you're still in, I would still like to target this, right? Why? Because whenever the market comes back, right, or whenever we get that change of character and it starts to come back for us, whenever the market gives us this change of character and then starts to come back for us, I want to target these highs right here. Does that make sense? Whenever we get left shoulder, head, and we get this change of character, as soon as we get that change of character, guys, whenever it starts to make that U-turn and come back for us, that's what I would like to target. I would like to go ahead and target these highs right here. So if I'm looking at this, my entry is at the shoulder, stop loss is at that low, and I would like to target this. That's a 6.5, or a 1 to 3.5, pretty much, right? Now let's just take a look. Maybe this setup's too big. We have to drop down and see if we can find something inside of here so we can capitalize on something like that. Because right now this 4 hour setup is 300 pip risk. Let's see if we can drop down and find something else. Let's look for something in here. 15-minute. Let's go to the 5-minute. Okay, I do see something. I do see something. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, guys. So if the market structure is right here, right? This is the lowest point. Where's my closest pullback to this low point? Anybody know? What high made this low point? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Yes, Shawnee, lower high, lower low. This low made this high made this low, right? So let's go ahead. This is the very last BOS on this 5-minute time frame. Now, I need this change of character. As soon as we get this change of character, it's go time. Awesome. We didn't get the change of character till right here. Okay, cool. Guys, would you consider this a breakout rally to the upside? Yes. So we have a starting point there. Now, I would like to see if we can minimize these starting points. Let me see. We have a BOS here. Was this starting point taken? That starting point wasn't taken. So we also have one there. But we have a starting point here, right? My low, my dominant low is this. And my shoulder is that right there. Why is that my shoulder, guys? Who can tell me why this is my left shoulder? It's my very last BOS before the change of character. So let's go ahead and zoom out and see if this was a sign. Let's go to the 5 minute or 10 minute real quick. See if this changes. This was taken. Let's go to the 15 minute real quick. All right, I'm gonna just keep it like that. Now let's zoom out and see if we can catch something. Let's see if the risk is a bit different. Oops. I mean, it's less, but it's still a lot. It's 236 pips, right? Of course. Thank you for asking your questions while you had the time. Now let's go ahead and take a look. Exit this. Oops, we're down here. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Crazy movement. As long as you trust the structure, guys, and you wait, like you wait patiently, right? You're probably thinking this. A lot of people who are new, they're looking at this and like, oh my goodness, the market has left me. The market has left me. What can I do? Right? But guys, trust that the structure will come back. Look at as soon as we get that on lower time frame, look at what the hour gives me. Equal lows. I'm already anticipating the market to come back right here in this area. That right there was fire. And if I'm still looking to take these highs, that 1 to 3.5 turned to 1 to 4.5, which is a bit better, right? Which is super, super solid, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I hope this call trust the strategy as well. Yes, Manny. Yes, sir. Does anybody have any questions? Let's drop down real quick. Any questions at all? Let me know. Let me know. This one was a bit ugly, I will say, because the market structure gets really, really choppy. So a lot of this isn't as clean as I would like it to be. And honestly, if I'm seeing stuff like this live, I'm not trying to re-enter anything that looks iffy. Like if I caught this buy setup right here, I should be fine with that. A 1 to 5 is more than, or 1 to 4, 1 to 4.5 is more than enough. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions at all? Now look at this. The market just continues to respect the structure. Break a structure to the upside. Starting point was respected. Awesome. Break a structure to the upside. Not only do we have that, but we also have a little head and shoulder setup right here, doing what it do, right? Where's my starting point though? My starting point is right here. Market came back and gave us a snipe. Okay, cool. That's great. That's great. That's everything we want, right? But now look, the market's up here right now. The very next buy setup I would be looking at is right in this area. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame, 2 hour. It looks a little funky because of how this candle looks, so I'm just gonna stick with this. 15-minute time frame. Let's go to the 30-minute. I like this area down here for an as. I want to reduce my risk just a bit. And now I have my very next buy setup, right? So I know that these were already taken right here in this area. This starting point was taken. This one was taken, right? I have a head and shoulder here that we could possibly use, but Right now, we are bullish, and this is the very next buy opportunity that we should be looking at. Does that make sense, guys? This is a 1 to 3 spot on, with this high being my take profit. Does that make sense, guys? We have equal our trend line trading right here, right? Which is looking good. So if the market can make its way back, I don't know when it's going to come, guys. I really don't. So when the market does, right, I have my alert set, right? We can see that. We can go ahead, wait. And once the market's in this area, use proper risk management, proper risk to reward, so we can go ahead and take these opportunities and continue to shift the market up. Give me a 1 if that makes sense, guys. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Any questions before we end the night tonight? Do you guys like this? Do you guys like this continuation checklist? Let me know, right? Let me know. Save that, use that, go in the markets and look for these setups. Make sure you go to higher time frames to identify the bias of what the trend is, and just follow the steps. Do we have a break of structure letting me know that the market wants to go higher? Well, do we, guys? Did we have a break of structure here telling me the market wants to go higher? Yes. Do we have a starting point? Yes. Awesome. Let's go ahead and look for opportunities. My entry, my stop loss is at the low, right? And in this example, my stop loss, my starting point is the lowest wick, right? So that's something to be aware of. Now let's continue with this bullish move, right? Okay, we got that one. But do we have one right here? Do we have the next setup? Yes, we do. We had the BOS to the downside. We have the change of character. Now it's time to start looking for some more opportunities, right? So I hope today's call made sense, guys. Um, if it didn't, it comes with reps, guys. It really does come with reps. I know this call was a bit, just a bit more advanced with the market structure because we're taking a look at NAS. But at the same time, guys, the rules still apply. The rules and the checklist still apply. Trend, break a structure, starting points, head and shoulders, find your setup and run with it. Do the proper calculations and do what you guys do. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, guys, I do want to start bringing on a couple more powerhouse educators on these calls because, if you guys haven't heard, which, news travels fast, we are throwing a traders lock-in in Miami. Who is going to qualify for the traders lock-in? You guys tell me because I'm going to be there. I'm gonna be there ready to give you guys the value. I'm gonna try to be in as many Airbnbs as I possibly can. That way you guys can get some access with me and have some one-on-one time with me. But at the same time, I still want to give you guys these educators, the powerhouse educators who has the value. So who would you guys like to see? Who would you guys like to see on our next levels call? Right, we got Bavik, Fernando, Tony, we have Gio, Miguel, we have Krista, Maria, we have Neri. We just had Neri. I'm a big fan of Neri on these calls. Neri knows that if she's on this call, Neri, I love you, dude. We always kill it when it comes to combining smart money and levels. But we just had Neri, so we might have to have Neri in a couple weeks. But who would you guys like to see? You guys tell me. Crypto based? You guys want it crypto based? I can see if we can get Tony or Fernando on these calls. Bavik, have her again. Hey, I'm down. I'll hit up Neri and see if we can get her on here again. She throws some gems out here, you know. And I can also see if we can get Oren, right? He might be a surprise guest at that lock-in. I don't know. I don't really know, but we'll see if we can make it happen. We got connections now, so I just gotta send him a text and see if he can get back to the boy. But we'll see, man. Jalen, haha. I don't know. I don't know. The boy Jalen's been smacking, huh? Hey, yeah, we might have to get Oren out there. But with that being said, guys, I will have somebody here for you and see if we can get somebody either this Friday or next Monday. But I would like to see if we can get it on this Friday. So I will go ahead and hit up these people and see if we can go ahead and do that. But I appreciate you guys for hopping on. I hope you guys got some value. I hope you guys got some good notes. Take the time to rewatch this video and draw this in your notes, guys. I promise you, taking notes is so overlooked in trading, right? Ask your questions, guys. Take advantage, bro. Where can I find this video? I will upload these videos on YouTube, right? So let me go ahead and just pull up my YouTube real quick. I will send you guys my link. I've been slacking on recording though, guys. So if you guys need a video, excuse me, if you guys need a video that's on my YouTube, make sure you guys DM me because I ain't gonna lie. I be slacking on these posts.
Nah, really?
Let me see. Let me pull up
Bro, it's like
who about me. Who's that?
which
What call is that? This call?
no,
Oh.
this guy. Damn, you forgot, guys. You forgot, guys. It's great.
All right, guys. That is my YouTube. I will post these videos ASAP. If I forget, because I'll be slacking, I ain't gonna lie. Just hit me up and be like, yo, post that. I need that. So we'll go ahead and get it done for you guys. But you guys have a great trading week. Trade responsibly, lock in, and smack the charts, guys. Let's go ahead. I'll see you guys on Friday.